So it's been 24 hours since Splatoon 3 has been revealed, and it's still kind of crazy to think that it's real and it's happening. And from the looks of the trailer, it looks really promising. I know we may be very limited on the information that we currently have, and I usually don't make videos like this, but I really want to take a closer look at the revealed trailer and see what's new and returning, and hey, maybe even throw in a few speculations in there. But to get started, it's obvious that the Final Fest will take a big part of the overall game's aesthetic, judging by the wasteland in the start, or as it's officially called, the Splatlands. Which really makes you think, what would have happened if Team Order won? But I'll save that thought for another day. However, moving on to our character customization, by the looks of it, there is a lot more options, and it's really nice. For starters, there's a lot of returning hairstyles, but there's also a lot of brand new hairstyles. From what I could count, I think there's a total of 8 brand new hairstyles, and that's 4 for Inklings and 4 for Octolings. And by the looks of it, not gonna lie, they're pretty fresh, and I'm looking forward to see them. But another little detail is the slit on the eyebrow, and I'm not entirely sure if that's a customization option, considering it wasn't shown in the trailer, but from the looks of it, it seems like not every single Inkling and Octoling have it. But is there more to it to the slit eyebrows, or is it just a simple aesthetic? Perhaps it could determine the battled hardened versus the rookies of this new game, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. As for eye colors, it seems that there's a brand new color gradient which determines the color of the iris, pupil, and a little ring around the eye, which is really interesting. Sadly, we weren't able to see how it would look like, but I guess we'll just have to wait for that. And as for leg wear, it seems like we could finally choose from every single kind of leg wear, which is really nice. But for one surprising little feature is choosing our little buddy's hair from 7 different styles, which is really nice, makes him look very adorable. But as for what the role of our little buddy is, I'm not entirely sure. The only information we have for our little buddy is explaining that he's a small fry and that they're known to be dangerous. However, there seems to be a mystery to how this symbiotic relationship was even formed. If anything, I do feel like we will maybe have to take care of our little buddy and bring them back to their family in some sort of lone wolf Mandalorian Ice Age plotline. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who's going to be saying that. But after that, from there, we move to see that the Eiffel Tower is apparently upside down and in the ground. Why? I really don't know. This could have been before the time of the rise of sea life, but why were Callie and Marie shown to be in France right below the Eiffel Tower? I'm sure this isn't the first time you're seeing this. I'm sure you already saw this somewhere outside, but that's kind of interesting. I really do want to happen what happened during the events of this picture and Splatoon 3. I mean, the Eiffel Tower in Splatoon 3 could be the one in Vegas, judging by the chaotic surrounding area is very similar to the actual Vegas, while the one in France is still standing, and maybe even this picture of Callie and Marie aren't even canon, but who knows? Am I going to overthink this? Yes, without a doubt. But I'll have to save that for another time. But moving on from there, we see the lone Inkling at a train stop waiting for what seems to be the Deep Sea Metro, but it isn't because they don't have the same design. However, who knows if there's a possibility that this train could be connected with the Deep Sea Metro system. And also in the background, we could see the brand new hub area and what seems to be a pyramid, which could then again mean it's near the Vegas desert area, but it could probably just be another hill. And then we're shown the interior of the new train with some creature that could be from the Deep Sea Metro, but then again, we'll just have to wait and see for that. But after all of that, we finally move on to reveal the interior of the brand new hub, the brandly new discovered city of chaos called Splatsville. Very creative name. And by the looks of it, it's an area filled with a bunch of high-rise complexes, advertisements, graffiti, and clothesline. It's just very cramped and cluttered, but it does give me hope that there could finally be a brand new feature in which we could have our own little apartment similar to the Splatoon 1 load-up screen. Because I mean, come on, look how many high-rise apartments there are. You're telling me that we can't have our own apartment here? But moving on to the street level, there seems to be a lot of markets and stores in which we may be able to buy all our gear and weapons from, but there doesn't seem to be many familiar places, except for what seems to be the little red mailbox in which we can draw and send posts out to the public. And during the small sneak peek of the interior of Splatsville, there seems to be a few frames showcasing a few new areas that we may be able to go through, such as an arch with a ceramic pig over it, A staircase that either leads to nothing or to what could be a brand new area, considering there's a little glow advertisement around there, and what finally seems to be a better view of the lobby, which quite possibly has ammonites on the right, and a very fancy building on the left. I'm not entirely sure what the layout will look like, but from these small glimpses, it definitely feels like it's going to be much more open than what we had in Splatoon 1 and 2. And from the limited information we get from Nintendo, they say that Splatsville's development has accelerated rapidly since the final Splatfest a year and a half ago, even though it's located far from Inkopolis. So it's pretty interesting to hear that this place is very far from Inkopolis, and then again, it could also provide more evidence that this is maybe in Vegas, but I'm just throwing that out there. But finally, after all of that, we move on to the multiplayer, and oh man, I still find it hard to believe that this is happening because there's so much to take into in such little time from this trailer showcase. For starters, spawning into a match has changed thanks to the power of these slosher lookalike things, which now give us the ability to launch into battle and give us much more of an opportunity to finally ink our spawns. But these only seem to be used at the start of the match, considering we see the usual spawn points around here, but I do wonder if we'll be able to use them in between matches, and maybe if we'll be able to use them in like the middle of the map or something, I don't know. As for the gameplay, it still seems that they're playing Turf War, and I'm sure the same rules will still apply, but when it comes to weapons and specials, we got a lot of nice new interesting things to look at. For starters, we get to see a little sneak peek on how the ink bow works, and it seems to be similar to a charger in which you have to charge up the weapon before you shoot the fully loaded 3 strings of ink. And it could also be seen by other players when it's fully charged thanks to the player glowing, just like a charger. But when it comes to other returning weapons, it seems that they work the same exact way, but some of them are redesigned, such as the Splattershot, Charger, Dynamo Roller, .96 Gal, Ranged Blaster, and Hydra Splatling. Some of them also retain the same design, but I really can't wait to see how all the other weapons turn out. And what I thought was at first the return of the Kraken is actually a brand new game mechanic called the Squid Roll, which allows the players to leap and twirl out of ink as seen by the Inkling dodging the ink bow. And then we also get to see another brand new mechanic called the Squid Surge, which allows players to quickly swim up ink-covered walls and jump out at the top, showcased by this Octoling jumping out and splatting the other Octoling instantly. In a sense, this is the return of the Kraken only in a mini form, which allows us to dodge ink much better when we're swimming, and the Squid Surge is such a nice way to finally scale walls and get a jump on our enemies. Now, I do believe we didn't see any sub-weapons in this trailer, unless this crab is one, but I don't think that's the case, considering the info we get from it says that we spotted some special weapons, in addition to a brand new one. Seems like the reconfigured versions of special weapons found in Inkopolis. Which is true, since we see the return of the reconfigured Inkzooka, which now shoots multiple globs of ink instead of just one giant tornado. And there's also a brand new version to what seems to be a Stingray that shoots multiple beams, but how it works, I'm not entirely sure, because at first I thought they were a Stingray and Pentamissile combination that lock onto the enemies, as it seems like these target onto the yellow Octoling, but I don't think that's the case, so not entirely sure there. But to wrap things up, the trailer ends with the message "back into the ink" with the release year of 2022, with the slight sound of the loading screen bubble sound effect, and just like that, Splatoon 3 is real. And man, I still can't believe it. In a short 3-minute trailer, I'm really excited to what's to come. There's just so many new questions to ask and so much to discover. Now, I know I didn't get too much into who could be the new idols, the whereabouts of the Squid Sisters off the hook, agents, Grizzco, and who could be the main villain of this game and such, but I think I'm gonna save that for another video coming really soon. No, like, I really mean it. Like, it's coming really soon. I really have so much to talk about. I just gotta work on that ASAP as soon as I'm done with this, so look forward to that. Now, I know this game is also a year away from now, but I really can't wait to look forward to all the small trailers, the directs, the sneak peeks. If anything, Nintendo's Twitter changed their icon and background recently to Splatoon, so I think they have some high hopes on this game. I know I do. But man, I really still can't believe that Splatoon 3 is real. Like, it's just such a crazy thought, man. We're getting a brand new game in 2022. It's so great. But what do you think? Are you excited? And if I missed anything, or if you have any kind of ideas of your own, make sure to tell me in the comments down below. So make sure to like and subscribe for more content to look forward to, because Splatoon hype is back, baby. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So goodbye.